Hey guys, welcome back to our robot arm project. Today I want to talk to you guys about another method to make moves. Okay, so I'm going to explain that by first talking about what we already know, what we're already used to. All right. So up to this point, I'm going to draw our semicircle here for our motors. Right? It goes from 0 to 180 degrees. And then the middle would be 90, right? Go 0, 90, 180. So up to this point, if we started right here, let's just say our motor turns on and we start right here at 0. All right. If I want to move halfway to this spot, I would have to move to 45 degrees. All right. So my first move would be 45 degrees. And then if I want to go move to the 90 here, I would then move to the 90 degrees. And then if I want to move, I'm going to keep going here, to halfway in between these two, which is actually 135 degrees, then I would say 135. And then I want to go all the way to the end, I would say 180 degrees. All right, so what I'm writing here, just to clarify, are the angles that I would write into my motor dot right, and we put some angle in there. All right, so to make this motion of start here, go here, go here, go here, and then go here, we would say go to 45 degrees, then go to 90, then go to 135, then go to 180. All right. This right here is called absolute mode. All right. So absolute means when you tell it the absolute angle to go to. So you're telling the motor, I want you to go to 45, 90, 135, 180. There's no questions asked there. It is very clear. You want to go to these angles and these angles only. Okay? So that all makes sense. Now, what is this other thing that I want to tell you guys about? Well, there's another mode. So I'm going to draw a line here to differentiate. Watch this. So if we are in a different mode, and I'm going to call this incremental mode, it's going to make this motion a lot easier. Let me show you. You would say 45. It would go there, okay? Then to go here, you wouldn't say 90. You would say 45. And then to get to here, you wouldn't say 135. You would also say 45. And then to get to here, you wouldn't put 180. You would also put 45 degrees. So I kind of want you to look at this, and I want you to think, well, so what's going on here? How does this work? Okay. Well, the incremental mode, this another word for incremental mode is another word that we could use is also relative mode. I don't know if that helps at all. So in this situation, in incremental or relative mode, what happens is that whatever angle you put here, it's going to add to that angle to whatever angle it's already at, right? So if you're at 0 and you add 45, you end up at 45. If you're at 45 and you add 45, you end up at 90. If you're at 90 and you add 45, which is this one right here, you end up at 135, and so forth. So what's the benefit of this? Well, check it out. This motion right here, going from 0 to 45, 90, 135, 180, look how simple this is right here. All the same, right? Compared to this, they're all different. And so that's why actually a lot of times when you're working with robots like this incremental mode or relative mode that you could also another word, the other method to call the other name for it is easier. And so back in the day when I was making these robot controllers for these factory robots, I would have two modes that my customer could program in. They could program in this mode or this mode right here. And I found that a lot of times it's easier when you're programming your robot to be in incremental mode because of something like this, where your code would just look a lot simpler. And let me also explain this. So imagine we're programming this claw, right? And let's say you program your claw and you told it to go to like this position. Let's just say like this position right here, okay? And then you go do a bunch of other stuff. You move this, you move this up and down and all that stuff. And then like a bunch of lines later, you want to move the claw again. And you're like, okay, I need it wherever it is right now. I just need it to go a little bit more like that. But the problem is you already forgot what position it's at, you know? So then what you have to do is you have to then figure out what position it's at and then add a little bit more to it and then put that angle in there if you're in absolute mode. But if you are in incremental mode, what you could do is like, okay, wherever my claw is right now, I just want to give me a +10 and it'll just move a little bit. Oh, give me another +10 and it'll just move a little bit. And see, you don't even care what angle it's currently at because the your code is already keeping track of that automatically. Okay, and so that's another reason why this incremental mode thing is helpful. So that's kind of some background on that. It may make more sense when we start coding. So let's jump to the code and check it out. All right, so this is the code from last week, and just to make things easy today, let's just focus on the claw motor right here, okay? So I'm going to try to make incremental mode for the claw motor. All right, so this guy right here, claw motor. All right, so the first thing that I need to do is, I mentioned that when you're using incremental mode, you don't have to care about the current position of the motor because your program will keep track of it for you. So if that's the case, we need to put that information somewhere. So our program right here needs to keep track of the position of the claw motor for us. So I'm going to put another variable, int claw position. All right, so claw position is going to be the angle of the claw, and it will use it. Our program will use this later to make all the moves for us. What should it be equal to in the beginning? Let's make it 90. The reason I want to make it 90 is one thing that we learned last week is that once we turn on the motors, it seems like all the positions go to 90. So I'm just going to say, let's just set claw position to 90 to match that. All right, and then once our code starts up, we can change it from there. All right, so claw position is 90. So let's make a function. Void, and I'm going to call this claw move, and I'll call this INC for increment. All right, and then here's my curly brace. Now I'm thinking claw move INC, it's going to take something in there, right? Because going back to here, it's going to be taking in an angle, but a relative angle, or an incremental angle. So let's do that. Let's make sure I can take in a parameter. So I'm going to take an int, and I'm going to call this increment angle. All right. Okay. So this shouldn't be too bad. Let's see what I need to do here. So I need to move the claw motor. So I'm going to put an angle in here, and then I'm going to move the claw. So it's claw motor. I believe it's called claw motor, right? Yeah, claw motor dot right. And then inside of this, you would say increment angle. All right, so increment angle what? I need to say claw position plus increment angle, right? So then, because it's going to take whatever position the claw is at, and then add the increment angle. Okay. All right, so let's try this. Let's try this. Claw move inc. So going back, so this is my code, right, where I can send these commands. So I'm going to add another one here. If my letter equals 3, then I'm going to say increment move. So then I'm just going to say claw move inc. And it's just going to say 45. All right. So if I send it a 3, it's just going to move it 45 each time. And then let's do a serial print .ln and say inc mode move 45. All right, so let's see what happens. Oh, I got an issue here. Line 69. Oh yeah, forgot the semicolon. All right, so let's see if this works here. Got to plug it in. I'm going to plug this in. All right, and then I'm going to turn on my monitor here. Okay, and so if I say 3, all right, it says just receive inc mode 45. All right, So it just, maybe it moved 45. So then if I press 3 again, it should move another 45, right? 3. 3. 3. 3. See, it's not doing anything. It should keep moving 45, but it's just staying there. So something's wrong with my code. So let's go back here. So if my letter equals 3, it does claw move inc 45. So if claw move inc is working correctly, every time that it does this, it should move plus 45, plus 45, plus 45, but it's not working. So let's check this out. Let's see what's going on with claw move inc. Okay. So claw move inc takes in the increment angle variable, right? And then it moves the claw motor to claw position plus increment angle. All right. Well, what's claw position? Claw position, it starts at 90. And then it adds 45 to it. All right. So it looks like it moves it to 135, right? It goes 90 plus 45 equals 135. Okay. Now what happens the next time? The next time that you do claw move 45, or claw move inc 45, what do you get? You're going to get, well, claw position is still 90, and then it's going to add 45 to it, and you're going to end up with 135. So you can see here that no matter how many times I call claw move inc, it's always going to move to 135. So the problem is that I forgot to save something. I forgot to save the claw position. I can't just always keep the claw position at 90. I have to update the claw position to whatever angle I end up at. So let me show you that. All right. So what I need to do is this. I need to say claw position equals claw position plus increment angle. All right, so let me get rid of this. And then do this. Let's see if this makes sense. So what I'm going to do is, when I get this increment angle coming in here, I'm going to say, okay, whatever my claw position is at this point, I want to set it equal to my current claw position plus the increment angle. And then after I added these two together, then set it to claw position, then I want to move my motor to the new claw position. Okay, that should work. And then the next time that I do a claw move inc, it should work because my claw position has been updated. All right, this, as I'm talking about it, it maybe is a little confusing. So what I'm going to do is do this. I'm going to say serial.println my new claw position is do this serial.println claw position. All right, so every time I do claw move inc, it's going to print out what the new claw position is. So if we did this correctly, each time the claw position should get bigger and bigger. All right, let's try this thing out now. Upload. This is the real stuff here, guys, where our code gets a little bit more tricky. All right. Okay, so we have, turn on our monitor, and I think it was 3, right? 3. Cool. It moved, and it says my new claw position is 135. That's cool. So if I send another 3, it should plus 45 to it. So I expect my new claw position should be 180. So let's see what happens. And there you go. And it's 180. Now it can't close any further, so that's why you can't see it anything. Can't see it actually move. So let me change, instead of 45, let's do 5 instead. And then that way you can actually see these moves. All right, so let me go back here. So let's do Inc 5. All right, I'm gonna upload this. All right, let's go to the monitor. So each time it should add 5 to it. All right, so let's go 3, 95, 100. You see that? 105. Check it out. Pretty cool. And you can see how it's so easy to kind of control this now and have it move just a little bit with these key presses. And I don't have to care about actually putting all of these absolute angles in, right? Because my code is keeping track of it for me. Because look how simple it is. I'm just saying claw move 5 each time. Add 5, add 5, add 5. Now, what if I want to go open the claw? Well, I can just do a negative number. So I'm going to say 4. So I'm using numbers for the claw. I'm going to say claw move inc minus 5. That should work. Let's see. 0 dot, oh, and then plus inc move mode is no longer 45, it's 5, right? Inc mode move minus 5. Okay, so 3 will plus 5 it. When I do 4, it's going to minus 5 it. Let's see if this works here. Okay. Monitor. All right, 3. You see my claws closing, pinching in. Very nice. All right, now it's already closed. Now I'm going to do 4, and hopefully, see this number is at 165 right now. Hopefully it goes to 160. It does. 4, 4. See? It's opening. 3 to close. I'm just kind of playing with this now. Pretty cool, right? So now, you know, with these increment moves, I could probably make a pretty cool control my robot with pretty good precision using these keys. And like I could just, you know, just like I'm doing with these threes and fours, right? I can control this claw pretty well. All right, well, that's all I wanted to show you guys today. So we added increment mode to the claw. Now, just to recap, if you actually look at the code, it's pretty simple. So for each motor, all we need to do is we need to keep track of the position. So we create a position variable. And then what else did we do? We created one of these, right? And really all that's going on here is that you create a function called whatever motor inc, and then you take in the increment angle. The key thing here is you save the new claw position. So you claw position and you set it equal to whatever the claw position is at that time plus the increment angle. And then you put that into the claw position. And then you take that new claw position and then move it move the motor to that position. And then the next time that you come back into this function, the new claw position information will be there. So it will work as intended. And then we also found that to go the other way, all you got to do is just put a negative number here, and the whole thing works as well. All right, so give that a shot. If you want, you can also try to do the same thing with the other motors. No worries if not, we can do that together as well. All right, that's all I got for you for now. Have fun, and I will talk to you guys soon.